Hello Softies, welcome back to another video on this particular channel. If you're new here, my name is Abisade and I regard to every other person on this channel as Softies because my manifestation for this year is also have a soft life, soft year and everything soft. Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're talking about how to save money on a small income in 2026. I know you've heard a lot of things about how to save money, how to do this, how to do that. But on here, we're not trying to set unrealistic goals for ourselves. We're going to be taking it one step at a time, like little step until we get it right. Does that make sense? I'm going to be sharing with you guys smart money tips that actually works, not the one that that's so unrealistic and then you keep flying around your head because you cannot make sense of it. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into this particular video. So on this channel, as you guys know, we talk about money, we talk about finances, we talk about big sister talk, conversation. I make vlogs, we talk about lifestyle upgrades, basically, and every other conversation that you will find useful. If your salary finished before the month end, all of us actually, most of us, our salary actually finished before the month end because we've not understood how the money works. So for example, this particular video is for students, is for 9 to 6 workers or 9 to 5 workers, as the case may be. Sorry, I work in 9 to 6. That's why I usually just go with the 9 to 6 work. So one of the things that we usually do, lots of us, we usually wait for us to start earning a lot of money before we start saving. Let me make you understand. If you earn 100,000 naira, for example, and you've not cultivated the habit for you to start saving, when you start making 1 million naira, trust me, you know go save. Because you're already comfortable with the fact that the money is always going to come, so you don't need to save. But once you learn the habits for you to start saving right now, even when you're earning so small, it will be easier. So one thing I usually do, number one, is that before anything, once your money comes in, what you need to do first is for you to save. Remove the money for savings before you think of every other thing. Also, for example, for people that actually like tithe, that pay tithe in church, if you're a Christian, I would advise for you to remove your tithe first, remove your savings next. So let's assume that your salary is 100,000 naira. I said let's assume. Do you understand? Let's just play a drama that your salary is 100,000 naira. If you remove your tithe of 10,000 naira, for example, you have left with you 90,000 naira. Let's assume that you say, oh, I want to start saving 10,000 naira every month consistently. So what you do next is you remove your 10,000 naira for savings, you put it somewhere. You put it somewhere. That money is not for you to touch. Do you understand? So you plan your remaining expenses on the remaining 80,000 naira that you have left. And if you want to say 20k, for example, you remove your 20k, you have 70,000 naira left for you to spend across the month. Do you understand? So let's assume that your transportation, your subscription, your food, everything, you have to remove them from that 70,000 naira. Do you understand? So if you were able to do it this way, you'll be able to plan your money according to what you have. Do you understand? So if you say, oh, let me buy everything that I need first before I save, trust me, you will end up not saving anything because money is never enough. Do you understand? So what I usually do, even for me, once my salary comes in, I remove my savings immediately. Because, so I have a group on Piggy, for example, where every month Piggy would withdraw a particular amount automatically. But the set date is 2 days after my salary comes in. So what I do is I put the money in manually myself. Like I put that money aside from my salary. So let's assume that my salary comes in today, I remove that money today or tomorrow. I put it in my piggy or wherever I want to put the money for savings. Then I plan around the rest of the money that comes in. So how I usually do it, I know how much my tithe is. I know how much I want to pull, I want to remove from my savings. Do you understand? So it's actually very easy for me to work around the remaining money. So I know that if I remove my transportation, it's not quite a lot, to be very honest, because I live very close or not so far to where I work or where my works are. Basically, so it actually makes everything easier. So from the month, let's say I have 100k left after I've already removed like my savings, my tithes and every other thing. I know that for family is from that money, for my feeding is from that money, for my I want to relax, I want to do anything, my subscription, everything is from that 100,000 naira. So it actually makes it easier. So I know that I cannot afford to give anybody less than like I can't afford to give people more than 10,000 naira. At the end of the day, I know that I have my eyes on a bigger picture, which is what I want to use my savings to do. So like I already explained, stop waiting until you start earning big before you start saving, and don't save last. The first thing you have to do is have to save first. If you know me so well, you know how much I say no. I try to say no, to be honest. If I cannot afford something, I do not lie about it. I tell you outrightly that I cannot afford it. Nobody can pressure me. I keep saying, like, nobody, none of my friends can pressure me. I've been using the same old phone for the longest, not because I cannot afford another phone, but because I know that there are priorities. Do you understand? There are things that I need, that needed my attention. There are things I need to do with my money, instead of buying like the latest gadgets and trying to press people's neck. People don't really care that much. Do you understand? So you need to not allow pressure get to you. And I feel like I've said this over and over and over again. You have to track your money. You have to track where your money goes. If you're an OG on this particular channel, you know how much I talk about Money Manager. That's the app that I use, and I think a lot of people on this channel actually use this Money Manager as well. If I've ever spoken to you about money or tried to advise you about anything, you know that I will tell you that you have to download Money Manager like ASAP, because that particular app is what I use to track my expenses, my transportation, my food, my gift. I'll probably put like a screenshot on here again to refresh our memory, and also to people that have never seen this app before. So that is particular app, for every expenses that I make every day, I try to put it in. For bottled water that I buy, 200 naira, I put it in. So at the end of the month, I'm able to track my expenses and know that, okay, 40% of my money goes for this particular month, or last month, or for February, for example, went into gifting. I know that in the month of March, I am not going to gift as much, because I can always say no. There is free will. Do you understand? I know that, maybe I spend so much money on Uber and co, and I ended up spending about, let's say, 80,000 naira or 50k for transportation. Like I said, numbers I'm calling are just like figuratively, not really exactly how much I spent. Do you understand? So let's assume that I spend like 50,000 naira on Uber the month of February. March, I know that I need to cut it. I must not spend up to that amount in the month of March. So how I'm able to know? I know that my transportation costs a particular amount of money, my food amount of money. I know that, I'm not allowed to eat outside. I cannot afford to buy food outside. There's food at home. So this particular app make me know that, besides you spend so much money on food in the month of February, you need to cut it. You didn't say no enough in the month of February, you need to cut down on your gifting. You understand? Like, this particular app actually would help you. So I would say again, you need to know where your money moves. You honest, most people do not know how they spend their money. That's why they're going to be like, I'm sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. I don't know what I'm doing with money. But if you're able to track it, it's not juju. It's not, somebody is not spending your money for you. You are the one that is making all the wrong decisions by yourself. So yes, you need to track your expenses, and Money Manager is the app that you need to use. A lot of people actually don't have a mind of their own. But on this particular channel, so far you are here, I'm going to let you understand that a lot of people on social media spend money that they don't have to appear rich, or they have other means of income that you have no idea about. Or somebody will come out to you and tell you that, how I resigned from my 9 to 6 job and I started content creation, this, that. I'm not disputing that fact that there is money in content creation, for example, but people will not tell you how they have like rich boyfriend, how they have rich father, or like the rich parents, how they have uncles and aunties that are bankrolling them behind the scene. But what you see is how very easy it is for them to live life on a large scale without knowing how and when their money is coming in from. Even to, for example, people that you work together in the same company, you guys don't make the same money. That's one thing you need to know. I have a colleague that we even make the same money that I know about, but we don't spend the same way because she has other means of income. This person uses Uber to work every time, and our salary cannot afford that. Trust me, Do you understand? So this is one thing you need to understand, that don't allow anybody pressure you no matter what. You need to keep your eye on what you want to do. Realize that you don't earn that much to spend like them. Impulsive shopping, like the way your friends would do, you cannot afford to do that. So you need to cut your coat according to what you have in your bank account. How we buy things to impress people that don't even give a fuck about us. You need to kill that habit. You need to kill it. You need to stop it. You understand? Unnecessary outing as well. I understand this really new sport in Lagos that you really want to try, but trust me, you cannot afford it. Why are you stressing? That place is not going anywhere. When and if you can afford it, you can always go there. But right now, thinking about how much you earn, how much in your bank account, you cannot afford it. So don't allow anybody pressure you to do what is anybody to do what you cannot afford to do. I know you've heard this so many times when people tell you that, oh, you need to create extra income, you need to have so many extra income. But let's think about it. How easy it is for you to even get a job in Nigeria? Let's talk of you getting extra income. But I would also say the same thing. You need extra sources of income. Maybe extra source or sources of income. It's a very, very hard thing, but I need to be very honest with you that your salary cannot sustain your lifestyle or the lifestyle that you dream of. But we're not going to jump the work. We're going to work towards the work. So you can start weekend side jobs. You can start selling. You can learn a new skill. You can do other things that will make money for you. You can sell. You can start selling things. But all I need to let you know is the fact that you need more sources of income. Say first, before you start spending, you need to automate your savings as well. Like what I said earlier, what I do with my piggy vest is the fact that for every 28th day of every month, a particular amount of money is removed from my salary, from my account, for savings. It doesn't matter how small, but the point is I set aside something every month to be saved, for me to save my future later. Do you understand? Like, you have to automate your savings. You have to be very, very deliberate about it. Don't put it to later. Do it like right now. The thing I usually say is the fact that what I don't see, I don't spend. So I have different accounts. This works for me. A different account. So let's assume that my account for salary accounts is GT Bank, for example. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's exactly mine. I'm not saying that, just putting scenarios in place for you. So let's assume that it's GT Bank. When the money comes in, I move the money from my GT Bank into my piggy vest, and it works for me. And I know that if I have 50k in my GT account, that's the money that will last me for the month, because there is nowhere any other money is coming from. Do you get? So my piggy vest, I don't even open it most of the time. I don't open it all the time, unless I don't know, I don't open it all the time. So the money is out of my mind, it's out of sight, not out of my mind to be honest, but it's out of sight. So I don't think about that money as spending money, because for every time I set a target on piggy bank, I lock it immediately. So there's no way, even if I swallow pin right now, I'm not getting that money out. So the only money that I can have access to is from my GT or from my spending accounts, basically. So what you don't see, you cannot spend. So yeah, try to automate your savings as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this particular video, Softies. And if you want more money making tips or money or smart money tips, please kindly subscribe to this particular channel. You know, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section what your smart money tips are like, what you do to sustain your money, what you do to, you know, stretch your money for the month. And I would really love to learn from you as well. Until the next time I come your way, stay jiggy, stay soft, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.